allowed the offense to play turnover-free football with 2 games to play?
That I think we've talked about it. I think we've done, we looked at it from the past. When we did our analysis of, Andy did a great job looking at things even before we came. But also, it's been a high point of emphasis wherever we've been, and we emphasize it weekly and daily, and everything that we do with ball security in different ways. We did put one on the ground Friday night, and fortunately we were able to get on it. But we want to keep making great decisions with the ball. But I think it's just hopefully it's our players have bought into that and have fundamentally doing a great job with technique and securing the football and making good decisions with it.
When you went back and watched some of the special teams issues you guys ran into as far as getting stuff blocked, what did you see on those plays?
There was there was a check made and on the punt, and one person there was an assignment error, and we let a guy go free and cut loose a guy that was in a good position to get there as he came to get it. It's correctable. Unfortunately, right after the delay, we were trying to
1 2 test 1 2.
Try to huddle on the sideline, work a little clock, and then huddle on the sideline and
That's fine, too.
on the field as well. That's on me. And then we had to check, and then we get the delay, and then the momentum. It all looks. It's 2 separate issues, but it looks like it's all tying in together, and we got to do a better job with that. So, extra point wise, a couple things in operational communication slightly, but more importantly, the issue was, just technique wise of, getting too low and causing a gap. We need to protect the gaps a little bit bigger and stay bigger in there and things. And I think we'll get that solved as well.
Then I want to ask you about Colin Grunhard. Obviously, didn't have him starting at right guard last week. Is he health-wise, how's he doing? And then how do you think Michael Ford did at that spot?
Colin wasn't available, doubtful probably for this week. I think, Michael's bounced back and forth. Michael did okay. I think Michael knows he can play better, and we need him to play better. So, and I look forward to that to happen as well.
How did you feel like the team responded to its first real setback of the season?
I thought after the game, obvious disappointment, what you want, in that situation. But I thought they were very responsive and locked in, and to a point where they where we want them to be to continue to want to get better. I thought coming off today, we practiced Sunday. We didn't practice yesterday, excuse me. And out there today, I thought they're working hard and trying to get it, get it corrected and get us back in a position to win a football game. For those of us that are new, it's hard to really gauge. And I'm trying not to get into heavy comparisons, especially when you weren't there. But, I like where we're trending. There's, as I think we said even last week with a win is we're going to have positive things happening that aren't always going to show up on the scoreboard that are going to be signs of progress. And we have to balance those and keep working on those, but not get into moral victories and use and think that's gonna do it for us. So, and I think they understand that, and I think we're moving forward in a positive direction in regards to that as well.
1 point down by the goal line, you gave Devin Neal 5 straight carries. I'm curious, do you see his role getting bigger and bigger kind of as the season goes?
Yeah, I didn't realize he had it 5 straight times, so it wasn't like I see his role continuing, hopefully. I thought he played for his first extensive playing time. I thought he showed I thought he did well. Again, like everyone, we can all be better, but for somebody like him to get a chance to do that on the road and in those circumstances, increasing. To be determined. Some of that's going to be field. We have to be more productive in the run game, especially at the running back position, and that's not just all on them. So, and that's no secret. So, but and sometimes that's going to be, it could be any of the guys that are going to rotate.
What do you think of the way Luke Grimm played?
I'm sorry.
Luke Grimm.
Yeah, I thought he had a nice game. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. I thought he made some plays. I think he's steady. He's not going to be a guy that's overly going to flash in a lot of different directions. But we're seeing different guys at the receiver spot, and I think it's a solid position, and we're going to need that. So it's not a one-dimensional passing game, and I don't think our tight ends had any catches, and after having some nice plays the week before. But again, you've heard me say it many times that offensive balance and using the weapons in many different ways is gonna be what we want to be as far as an identity, and it's for those reasons. So if something's taken away, you have something else to go to and rely on and take what's given to us. Again, sometimes I forget how young some of our guys are, and Luke's one of those, but he doesn't. The nice thing about him, I don't think he ever gets rattled. He stays the course, and I think he's he doesn't get impatient with opportunities that come, but when he's called upon, he can make plays.
Last one for me, just with the tackles, left tackle, right tackle, what do you see pass blocking wise, and what can those guys do to be better?
Well, again, every time you get beat, there's something that can be corrected, and usually what is it on that particular time there? I know Scott's working hard with those guys. Our tackles need to, again, we need to protect and do other things holistically better. I think there's each and every sack probably had its own little, it could be a body lean. It could be opening a shoulder. It could be, lunging, there's a lot of different things that have to go and again, something that is being addressed and not neglected.
Hey, Lance, what were some things that were encouraging from the film last game?
Well, I think, the play of Jason Bean and what he really shows athletically is one. I still think, there's some throws again that he wish he had back. But I thought his play took a step in the right direction. That's going to give us encouragement of what we can be offensively. I even thought that when Jalen got in and had to step in, he didn't flinch, and that's tough to do, especially in the circumstances that we were in at that time. And then he got in again towards the end. So the quarterback position, I thought, took strides. I thought the running game, we mentioned Devin Neal. I thought he took steps. We talk about ball security. The interesting part of this is, okay, we know the block punt was a huge momentum shifter in the game. Unfortunately, we lost by 27 points and we punted twice and we didn't turn the ball over. Think about that. I don't know if I've ever been part of a game like that. So obviously field position going forward, fourth down, doing certain things like that, that's encouraging. We're doing some things there, but now we got to finish. We got to be better. Our margin for error, as I said after the game to all of you, is like, it's no secret. It's we've got to narrow the gap on our appointment and have a little bit bigger margin of error that when things don't go right. But to punt twice and one of those being blocked and everything, and yet still do that, I think that's some encouraging signs. Defensively, I think we got some stops when we needed them at certain times, obviously not enough. That's a good football team, and I think they showed that to everyone. I think we knew that, but the experience and the amount of starts, and I think that's some of the things we see again coming here Saturday is another experienced football team that has players with a lot of starts under their belt, and there's no substitute for experience, as we know. So, I thought that those were probably some of the bigger ones that stuck out in my mind.
Yeah, and Jason went down just real briefly, but got back up. We talked a little bit about pass protection, but how much of a focus or emphasis does that have to be just to keep a mobile guy like that, on his feet and healthy when he's playing well?
It's extremely important keeping your quarterback healthy, as we know, especially if you're going to ask him to run. You're always running that risk. You see what kind of threat he is and what he can do. And so those extra hits in the pocket and things like that are going to be very important for us to find ways to do a better job protecting him.
You didn't make the schedule. You don't get to remake it now. Would you have preferred another non-conference game before jumping into the Big 12, or does that matter?
I don't know, right? Honestly, Matt, I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. It's what's there. We have so many other things to look at or control what we can at the moment. It's happened before, at the last job where you get one put in a little earlier and things. I'm not sure why or how, but I guess that's fine. I guess it's a chance for us. I'm, just glad to be at home again and hopefully our fans and of course the students, everyone that were so impactful in the first game of the year come back out and watch, and hopefully they see things that this group is working hard and they can be an impactful thing for a conference opener. That's about as far as I've thought about it.
Yeah, what about Baylor in general? What do you expect to see from them, and have you seen from them?
Well, I know last year's the first game of the year and everything, and I never really went through the COVID stuff of what was available, but obviously that game got away, and to have them here, I know they went through their tough parts of their season too with Coach Aranda in his first year. I see a team getting better. You can see they're more comfortable in year two and what they're doing. It's going to be two athletic quarterbacks that can have the ability to run and throw. They have explosive playmakers like everybody in our league. The running back's also a great kick returner and has done some things. So I think their offensive line has drastically improved from a year ago where they won. You can see them more comfortable. Big defensive line and athletic secondary, that it's going to be a good challenge, but that's what we expect. And I know our guys are excited. I think the one thing that does help us right now is that there is an excitement about the opportunity to start conference play right now.
Because Jalen got in just so, abruptly unplanned this past week. Have you seen anything different from him this week in terms of his approach to the week? Because
it's only been 2 days. I tell you, I've been so impressed with Jalen and Miles, how they go about it, how they support Jason, and really they all support each other and going about a competitive situation. And I think just a little bit even from last year, I think he learned, the what can happen in the role, and you got to stay ready. And he's a highly positive, energetic guy, and I love that about him.
What ways have you seen them help him out? I know Jason said after the game against South Dakota that they've helped him out with coverages during the game. So what ways have you seen them help?
Yeah, well, first is just support, encouragement, all those things, but also, like you say, Jim Zabrowski's asking those guys to do a lot of different things, but what are they seeing on the sideline from a coverage standpoint and things that are being tipped, and they're always talking, and as you see after every possession that there's always a little huddle there of conversations, and as you can see there's little tidbits there that are being shared. So
go ahead and zoom. Go ahead, John. Hey, Lance, I was looking through this NCAA stats on Sunday and saw you guys are one of 8 teams that haven't turned the ball over yet, who's played 2 games. Just how important is it? I know you guys have stressed taking care of the ball.
Yeah, if we turn it over Saturday, John, I'm looking at you. It's so important that, as you said, for where it's important every year. You talk, when you talk about winning, being solid in special teams, you could see what that did when we weren't. When you're winning turnover battles, it gives you a better chance to win. But I also think it backs up the points of emphasis. I think another thing that gets lost is, okay, again, not saying anything that was maybe done or not done before, but our approach is going to be, again, attention to details, what we're asking them to do through structure, through other things. And one of them is, we're looking at ball security each and every time. Some of you have been out of practice. You hear us talk about it. It's about tucking, finishing, all those things. Well, when you're able to have games like this and hopefully continue to do that, they start seeing the benefits of doing those things each and every day. And then you start building upon that in other ways of doing the little things right that hopefully can help each individual, but the unit get better each and every day.
And then my last question, Saturday, you get back to the normal Saturday games, and you guys will probably have some recruits on hand. I know you can't talk about them by name, but just how nice is it, for the program to do that?
It's extremely important. It's our chance to show, our staff, our program, our new direction, but of course a game day environment, and one that we want to continue to build upon and increase as we're here. It's unique, playing 2 Fridays in a row and things, but it's hopefully the start of many where, within distance and whatnot, that we get, multiple prospects in whatever year possible here.
Hey, Coach, you guys had 5 plays against Coastal that went for 30 yards or more. Against South Dakota, you guys had none. What do you think kind of led to that switch and big plays happening?
Well, one was the running of Jason Bean. I think that showed itself. Daniel Burke gave us some statistics about really how many we've had versus what, even a year ago, and some comparative stats, not just with turnovers, but explosive plays. I think we had a few more vertical throws down the field. The one, of course, that Trevor Wilson sticks out is one of the bigger ones, but, having those plays, and I think for us to continue to build on those, have confidence. Again, we just had questions about the pass protection. We got to be able to protect, to throw the ball down the field. But all those things will create the balance that we're looking for. And again, when you're in a program, at a state of a program where your margin of error is slim to be successful, sometimes in the growing pains of things, driving the ball 12 to 15 plays is very difficult. And so with that, and I think this is the way college football is evolved today, is that you have to create explosive plays, and you have to get some of those, and we will continue to find ways to do so.
Does seeing Jason Bean make some of those long yardage throws give you more confidence to let him air it out more often?
Does what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the beginning.
Does seeing Jason Bean make some of those longer yardage throws give you more confidence to let him air it out?
Oh, absolutely. And watching him accelerate makes me more excited to see him carry it sometimes too, is, either way. But, and that's some of his explosiveness that in dynamic running that, again, that makes, hopefully will continue to make him a dual threat. Of course, and working on the passing part of things will give us a chance to do that. And then, that hopefully will open up things in the run game for the running backs, and and then everything starts to complement each other. And then hopefully you've got yourself an offense that becomes more difficult to defend.
And then last one from me, is there a receiver who you think is an exceptionally good deep threat on this squad? And if so, who might that be and why?
Well, I think we have multiple ones. I mean, Kwame Lassiter probably is one that probably doesn't get a ton of deep balls, but he has that ability. You see it as a returner. Lawrence Arnold's a big target that showed his ability to make plays in the opener. Didn't have quite the same type of game at Coastal. Trevor Wilson comes up with a catch. He has shown the ability in the past to run past people. He was state champion in Florida in track. I think we have some other younger receivers. You're going to make me go through my whole mental Rolodex of guys here, but I do feel we have those, and we need to consider to do it. But it's not just purely lining up and running past people. And again, and some of that may be off play action. And the thing about when you're successful in those things is having those type of down and distances where those can really work. And when when we end up in the second and 12s, well, it's not or more, it's not in a great position to be able to run past people. Plus, if you're getting your quarterback hit or sacked, it again, hanging out of the ball for deeper routes is not probably in our best interest either. So hopefully we'll have a chance to utilize those guys a little bit more. But I do like our receiving core. It's a younger group. I forgot. I'm sitting here thinking as I'm talking, who did I forget? I think Stephen McBride also definitely has those abilities to do that, and has shown that in fall camp. So, having people that can do those things is not a concern as well as it may be for us to be able to execute that holistically right now and for us to build those opportunities in.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.